Hello, everyone. We are so excited to be joining you again today with a very special guest. But before we do that, I am Allison Mancini. I am your holistic nutritionist, and I'm here with my amazing co-host.
Hi, I'm Julietta, the Magical PT, and welcome to Voices of the Goddess podcast, where we empower, inspire, and uplift women to become the goddesses they are meant to be.
Yes.
So one of the things Allison and I were talking about recently is, just how what's going on in the world right now has really created a lot of disconnect in everybody and
a lot of isolation.
Disconnection, isolation. And so last week I sent out this, I have an email list for my physical therapy business. And when I'm good, when I'm on my task, I get an email out to people every week. And sometimes I'm not so good. It doesn't always get out. But last week, my email I sent out, what people didn't realize. So people book their own appointments with me. Go online, go to my website, click the button, schedule. And but one of the options that I have on there that not everybody knows about is you can book a coffee or a tea with me. And, because people would say like, oh, I miss you. I'd love to talk to you, but I don't have anything wrong with me. I don't need therapy. And I said, well, you don't need to have something wrong with you. You don't need to have a therapy need to come and see me. I said, just go in and book a coffee or a tea and come in and we'll sit and chat. You can check out my office and, have this fabulous Italian coffee maker that I can make any kind of coffee you want or tea or whatever you want, but just book yourself in. And like the response I got from that was just like, oh my God, that's the coolest thing ever. And, so yeah, if you're in the Fort Lauderdale area and you want to see me and you want to hang out and chat, go on my website, book a coffee and tea, and we can connect and create connection. And you don't have to be lonely.
Could they do it by Zoom if they wanted to?
Oh, for sure. I have that option is available as well.
What I thought.
Although I don't know if I don't have the coffee and tea by Zoom, but there's Zoom options to just connect and talk. And the only thing is if we're Zooming, you're going to have to provide your own coffee
and tea. Well, I think when we were talking about this, we were talking about how like you, for your practice, like you'll send out these great, like informative emails about, why you should stay hydrated or treating scars, right? Because that's one of your great things one of the many great things you do. And it's like,
and nobody cares.
Right. It's like crickets. And then you send out this thing about coffee and tea and everyone's like, oh, me. Oh, right. So we were talking about like, it's so like people just really are craving connection right now. And I think it's because of everything we've been going through over the last year. So our encouragement, and actually one of our interviews today, she even talked about that, her tea time, right? Like our encouragement to our listeners is connect with somebody. There's not like, I've learned this last year that it's okay for me to reach out to Julietta or some of my other girlfriends, Danielle or Brittany, and be like, I'm like feeling just really blah right now. And the response I always get from them is like, it's all right. You know, what's going on? How can I help? And 5 years ago, I would have never admitted that to anybody. Like I would have been like, you know what I mean? Because we're all like trying to be so
be perfect.
Yeah, everybody's so got it put together. And I'm like, you know what? I do not have it together. I'm going to start just being straight up with people. And the response has been amazing. And I think I'm saying that because I really believe that's why the response you got for the coffee and tea was so incredible, because people just need connection right now. We're going through these just weird, it's like every day there's something different happening and going on in the news that freaks people out. So set up a coffee and tea with Julietta and then invite me and I'll come join you guys.
Nice. It'd be fun.
Actually, that makes me think though, like I think going forward for my business, I'm going to have an option of just having coffee or tea, because I think that's a great idea. And it's the relationship connection, right? I mean, that's important too.
Well, and like the people that come to see me, I think most of them get it, but like I want people to know, like, you're not just business for me. Like once you come and you lay on my table, you're part of my life, and I care about you and your well-being, whether you need my services or not. Like I truly care, and I want my people to know that. So
yeah, I agree. That's what makes you, that's one of the things that makes you the magical PT. That's awesome.
Yes.
All right. So we have a pretty magical guest today, I understand.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm going to say, when I asked her, she was one of those people, like, I was afraid she was going to tell me no. And when she said yes, I was like so excited. I love this girl, this woman. But she spent a lot of time in my clinic when I had bigger clinic with staff. And she is just an amazing, amazing human being. So caring. So, I'm glad she's here. So let's bring her on.
Yay.
And,
are you adding her? Or am I adding her?
Oh, I thought you were adding her. I was like,
her,
because I saw your arm going. I'm like, okay, she's doing it, so I'll let her.
I'll do it.
Hello, Ajwerea. Welcome to Voices of the Goddess. And I also want to point out too, like, check out the purple wall. I had her paint that just so she would match me for the show.
It was planned, you guys.
Well, I have our blue, kind of.
So can you please introduce yourself to our audience and just let them know a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Hi, my name is Ajwerea Shams. I'm a full-time student at University of St. Augustine for Health Sciences. I'm completing my last year of the Doctorate of Physical Therapy residential program, and I'm interested in specializing in neurology.
Wow.
This girl is going to be an amazing, amazing, amazing PT.
I need to connect you with my daughter because she wants to be an OT, but she just did her internship this summer at Florida Movement Therapy Implantation, and their big thing is neurological stuff. She thought it was so cool. Yeah.
I think it's a very interesting specialty, neuro, and I did fall in love with it because I was at Julieta's, clinic and everything. So, but yeah, it was just like, it's amazing. And yes, I would love to connect with your daughter.
Yes, you guys I can totally see you guys loving all that. That's awesome. So you are doing physical.
Let's end up working together one day.
So you're doing physical therapy and you've already completed your undergrad. And now you're doing your doctorate, right?
Right. So the program's like about three and a half years long. So I have like one year left, which I'm completing right now. So I just finished my first clinical rotation I had. It was like in Fort Lauderdale. So I just finished. So I'm on like a 2-week break right now. And then it's like school again.
Yeah, I know. You know what? There's going to come a day where you're going to be like, gosh, I would love to go back to school. It was so much easier then. Right?
I love school. My only problem is like driving down to Miami every day. That's what I'm not looking for.
So so I'm totally picking your brain because my daughter and getting off of our interview, subject. But so you go down to Miami at what school is it again?
So it's the University of St. Augustine. They have a campus in Miami.
There you go. Nice. Yeah. So I think you're our first college student interview.
I think she might be too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Nice. All right. Let's do this.
Let's dive into the questions. Yes. So, Ajwerea, what is your superpower?
I think my superpower, I know my superpower is my ability to lead. It's just whenever I always find myself in like circumstances where I'm like always, in a leadership role, or I'm leading like a group of people or something. So I would say that's like definitely my superpower.
Nice. That's a really good superpower to have.
We need leaders in this world. Yes, so we do. And we need leaders with good hearts. So yes. Love that. All right. I'm like, and here she is like up to her eyeballs in textbooks and everything right now. So it might be a difficult question, but what is your favorite book or the book that has most influenced your life?
So one of my friends, she actually like let me borrow a book, and it's called, I don't know like what the censor thing is over here, but it's The Life-Changing Magic of Not Giving an F, by Sarah Knight. I don't know if you guys have like know about
Yeah,
that.
you can say that. You can say that word. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
We allow it.
Yeah.
So just like say it again from the beginning.
Go for it. Say it.
Okay, so The Life-Changing Magic of Not Giving a Fuck.
Okay.
By Sarah Knight. And basically like the takeaway message I got from reading that book is to basically like how to, free yourself and change the opinion that you might have of yourself. Like any like negative opinions, stop procrastinating, saying no when you need to, and just, do the things that you want to do, and, stop being an obstacle for yourself.
I'm pretty sure my son read that book recently, and I think it's sitting on my bookshelf. And I just want to say, good for you for reading it at your age and young, because it's really important that you learn that at an early age. You will just save yourself from a lot of heartache.
I'm glad I read it at this age.
Because think about like all the limitations that we went through, Allison, because we were doing what we should do as opposed to what we wanted to do. I have shooted away so much of my life, and the art of not giving a fuck it took a long time to get there. And even when you know it, there's still like there's times in your life where you struggle to do what's right for you as opposed to doing what you should do, and releasing all the fucks. And 50, I want to say, like amongst me and like talking with other women my age, 50 is definitely when you hit that number, it makes it easier to get into the space of zero fucks given. But yeah, I would have loved to have had a book like that when I was in my 20s. Yeah.
Same. For sure. Yeah, that's a great book. I think
sorry.
No, go.
Oh no, I was just saying, like, I feel like, because, like, maybe, like, back then it was just like everyone wanted you to follow what society wanted of you, and like following all these rules and everything. So maybe now we're in that, like, in the years where it's like, people are like, just girl, you do you, like, don't worry about like what other people want from you and what they expect from you. So, because my thing literally is, I literally don't give a fuck about what other people like think about me. I'll do whatever I want. For me, what really matters is what my parents think of me, what my family thinks of me. So their opinions are what really matters to me, But like for anybody else in the world, like if I want to do something, like I'm gonna do it for myself.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think it's very different now than like when Juliet and I were kids, because we're only a few years apart in age. And I think that it's a lot more accepted now for people to do, like you said, do you, like whatever that is for you. I think that is definitely more accepted than it was back in the 70s. So.
Well, and I just want to speak to one other thing, because you said, like, and I agree with you on many levels. Like, yeah, it means a lot to me what my family thinks of me. But I will also say, like, now grown up, there were so many times in my life too that I did what I did because I thought that would make my parents proud or make them think good of me. And it's like, now I realize too that there's a lot of other stuff that I could have done, and they would have still loved me and
still been proud.
So yeah, it's important what your family thinks about you, but also don't let it limit you being you. Yeah.
I agree.
It's a great book.
That's also like what I meant to say at the same time, but I didn't like say explicitly how Julietta said it. But yes, that's also what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. That's a great book.
All right. Question number 3. And like, you have a crazy schedule when, like, I remember back when, like, you were like, I don't know, getting up at crazy hours to drive, like, it was just too much. So you definitely need to make time to take care of yourself. So that self-care, what is your favorite self-care practice?
So I'm actually very big on self-care, like despite of what you just said, like making up like super crazy early hours and, everything, and like always having like, my head in the books and everything. But so I'm very big on self-care. And honestly, I think self-care goes hand in hand with self-love. So, and they're both very important. So, and then like self-care isn't just like a physical aspect. There's like a mental and like, spiritual aspect to it too. So like one of my favorite thing, which I feel like everyone loves to do, is like, no matter what, like, like I like to reward myself and stuff. So like, every week I go for a massage, like, that's how I do self-care. For me, just hanging out with like my sister, who's my best friend, just being with her, spending time with her, it's like, for me, that's self-care for me too, because like, she helps me like in the mentally and like the spiritual aspect as well. So, but for me, I would say like definitely like family and, like massages, like that's for me, that's like helps me with my self-care.
Beautiful.
But I'm guessing you're in your early 20s, but I think like really you're not. I think like in your soul, you're much older than that because you speak way, way more. I don't know what I'm looking for. Juliana, help me here. She's just.
No, she's definitely, Ajwerea is an old soul for sure.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Which is good. That's
she
awesome.
Is mature beyond her years. I used to, host PT students and PT students in my clinics and just had a lot of really miserable experiences with them. And so at one point I stopped. And then, several years ago, Yvonne came to me and he's like, there's this girl that's doing some hours at the other clinic. You have to let her come. She's amazing. And I was like, okay, since you're asking, and I was like, so glad he did. I mean, it was just
the best decision
of your life.
Different
level of human being.
Did you hear what she said? That was so awesome. Say it again.
I said I was the best decision of your life.
Yes, you were.
That was awesome.
It was such a joy having her in the clinic. And yes, she is definitely mature beyond her years. I know she's an old soul. So all this stuff you got to get done between school and helping out at your home and da-da-da. How do you create accountability to make sure you get it all done?
So I create accountability in my life by setting daily, weekly, and monthly goals. And I reward myself when those goals are met. Even if they're not met, like I just like, I'll push it on to like, all right, like, my goal is for like, the next day or week, depending on what that goal is, to like meet it. But then I also hold myself accountable, and then I task others to hold me accountable. And then I have them like put me on the spot and call me out if they see me like, slacking or whatever. And, I love to seek valuable feedback from others so I can emphasize my strengths and improve on my weaknesses.
I'm like looking at Allison's face like, yeah, it's like, what 20-something-year-old speaks like that? No, just Ajwerea. She's amazing. So, and
that's awesome. Because by the time she hits our age, she's going to be so far ahead of where we're at.
She's way ahead of the game already. So.
I know, right? It's incredible. Good for you. Like, I love the fact you're literally saying I make daily, weekly, and monthly goals, and I'm like, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should make weekly goals. Like, I make monthly goals, and I have like things I want to get done every day, but I didn't really break it down to weekly goals. Like, I think I need to do that. That's a really good idea.
I like it because then because I feel like with monthly goals, it's just like, it might be a very long list and you'll be like, oh, to take some time or whatever. But like at the same time, you have to take small steps to reach a big goal anyways. So just like cutting it down and doing like, weekly goals, I think helps. So.
Nice.
I think you need to like, wow. Okay. Yeah. Do you mentor young people or something like yourself?
Yes and no. Like I said, I like to do like leadership roles and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so at my school, we do have like a mentor-mentee like relationship sort of thing. So like, I'm going to be going on my 6th one. So every semester, like I get a new student, and the old ones still like, they keep in touch with me and we connect and everything. But, I just help them get through PT school because I know how hard it is and I know what they're going through. So I'll say like yes and no, like for that question.
Yeah, I can see that. Good for you. You can tell like this is not something you're new to, right? Awesome.
All right. Are we ready for takeaways?
Yes, I believe that I am.
Do you want me to go first?
Yes, I would love for you to go first.
So my takeaway, and like this piece of me is like, I can't even believe that I never thought about it that way. But Ajwerea, talking about time with her family as being self-care. And, it's difficult for me because my family all lives in Wisconsin and I live in Florida. So we're very far apart. But it's like so important to me, like the time that I spend with them. And I think shifting, like putting it in the category of it's self-care to spend time with my dad and time with my brother. And, I have talked about, making it a priority to get to see them more often than once or twice a year. And I think pushing it into self-care is going to like help me do that, make more time for them. So I like that. That was cool. What's your takeaway, Allison?
I will agree with you on that also. And especially now for like me, kind of both sides of it, now that my kids are grown and, not at home all the time. So when I do get to spend time with them, that is very much self-care. But I also love how she talked about, which I think is so incredible at your age to see this, is how self-care is really self-love, right? And that's so, so important. So I think I'm going to go with my biggest takeaway is I need to have weekly goals. It's really basic, but I don't know why. I'm 50 years old and I've never thought of that. So I'm sure someone said it before over the year. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure I've heard it numerous times, but maybe coming from a young, very wise woman is what she just said it the way I needed to hear it.
And we talk about that all the time. Like, people say the same things over and over again, but somebody is going to say it in a different way that's just going to resonate with you. And so, that's why I tell every woman that I ask to be on the show, like, you need to come on the show, because even if you don't think you have anything new or valuable to say, you're going to say something in a way that resonates with someone out there. And, if we help one person make a positive change in their life, this whole thing is worth it. So,
yes.
Yeah. So, Ajwerea, what is your takeaway from the show today?
Well, before I say my takeaway, I want to comment on Allison's comment about how you said basically doing weekly goals is quote unquote basic. So once again, I want to comment on that and make you see that it's not basic, because you're referring that to how society will be seeing it as, oh, it's like basic.
Like you should know that, right?
Yeah. And this is like something that will help you. So once again, that phrase, you do you, okay? Like, don't think what like society's going to think about it being like basic or whatever,
You're awesome.
Can I comment on that?
I want to start hanging out with you. Okay.
So my takeaway from our time together is actually just my appreciation of, both of you. I've known Julietta for years. It's my first time talking to you, Allison. So just, I love how you guys came together, create this like platform where you guys, support women, and you create this community of like powerful, females, and you make them aware of their inner goddesses. So, honestly, I just want to thank you for what you both of you guys do. So thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We need to have her start promoting for us. She's gonna be I love it. You are going to do amazing things. I cannot wait to see what your future has in store for you, because you're already pretty incredible. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It's awesome.
All right. Thank you, Ajwerea. And thank you to all of our listeners out there for listening to us. And if you've liked what you heard today, please subscribe, follow, share. Get the word out. If you'd like to be a guest on our show, you can visit our website and fill out the request form to be a guest on our show. And have a magical day, everyone.